Avengers versus X-Men. Whose side are you on? What's going on, guys? My name is Zach Rizal, back with the brand new Marvel Snap video. Hope you're all doing absolutely so fantastic today. I am here joined by another very special guest, the man himself, Tuccrr. How are we doing today?
Doing absolutely fantastic, bro. It is so good to be here, Zal. Thank you so much for having me. I'm ready to run through this. Let's go.
The pleasure's always all mine, dude. Seriously, appreciate you so much. And today, we're going to run through every single new card coming out in the month of March for the brand new season of Marvel Snap, which comes out March 5th. And we're going to start with the Season Pass card in Hope Summers. We have a 3/3 stat line with the description of, after you play a card here, you get +1 energy next turn. I'm already super hot on this one. I think it's a really, really strong Season Pass card. We've had some seriously some super strong Season Pass cards in the past. In Miss Marvel, you had your Loki, and then you had, Sebastian Shaw, you had Scar. They both found homes, but I think this one is going to be seriously fantastic. What are you thinking about this one?
I think it's gonna be a very interesting card. I think like using it for like some ramp synergy is good. I think honestly, it's gonna sound a little bit crazy, but like let's say you don't draw a Sarah and Surfer. You can use this for a Surfer and Absorbing Man on turn 6 kind of thing because you have 7 energy. And I think at the stat line too, she is better than her mom, which is Jean Grey. But I think you can still kind of use them together to kind of offset maybe your opponent's Hope Summers. But it's going to be really interesting to see how you can kind of like tech her into a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited. The flexibility is what I'm really excited for. Like, I didn't even think about Surfer. Excellent idea. That wasn't even on my bucket list whatsoever. I was initially thinking, though, again, like, you bounce. Things that pick up those cards, make them cost less, and just getting that extra energy. So you can throw down like a massive hit monkey, like a super big hit monkey. And I was also thinking, while I was brewing to myself, a little bit of ramp action per se. Maybe there's a chance, right? You get that +1 energy. For example, you throw down that Hope Summer down on 3, and then you can throw down a Wasp on top of her. At that point, you're already starting an Electro combination, but you can throw down a lot more cards. I think as a Season Pass card, this is fantastic. I don't think it's going to be anything like insane, but it's going to be way better than your Sebastian Shaw, right? I mean, because that one was just so niche. You couldn't really do much. This can fit into so many different lists. It's going to be an absolute blast. And I was also thinking, what do you think about a Jean Grey synergy here?
I think the Jean Grey synergy is going to be interesting. I think using it to kind of like offset your opponent's Hope Summers is probably what's like going to be the best usage for it. I mean, you can use it yourself to play, your card middle, and if your opponent's not playing Hope Summers. But I think you don't necessarily want to clog yourself at the same time, like too early, because you're kind of just going to be wanting to bounce cards off of her. But who knows? Maybe something happens with Elsa as well, and then it gets crazy with Hope.
I like where you're brewing with that. Yeah, Elsa little kitty action. That's gonna be good. I'm excited for that one. 1 out of 5 stars. What are you thinking?
So I don't think she's necessarily game breaking. I think anything that adds extra energy is good. I'm going to give her like a 3.5 star out of 5. I think she's going to be above average and better than that. I think being able to maximize the energy output is probably going to be where you might have a little bit of difficulty, but she's going to be fun.
I think it's totally going to take some testing, right, to figure out the perfect and most best shell. But I think, again, super fun, super flexible. And because of those two reasons, you can put her up. You can put her close to a 4-star maybe. But I think I like a 3.5. I'm going to stick with you on a 3.5. I think that's good, again, because of the playability, the flexibility, and the overall just brews that you can make with such a card like this. I'm hype about it. And the Surfer, that's going to be a good one. With that being said, this is Hope Summer. I'm excited. Season Pass card, March 5th. And with that being said, let's get right onto the next card. All right, and on to the next card coming to the brand new season, March 5th. This is coming out along with the Season Pass card. So we have another 2-weeker, another 2 cards, 2 weeks, you know what I mean? And with the description right here, on reveal, shuffle the cost of all cards in your deck that started there. Pixie, 2/1 stat line. This is a fun card, okay? I'm serious about this one. I'm not too hot about it. Because you're literally ready? I'm not too hot about it because this is straight up fun card. I don't see how this could... I could totally be proven wrong, right? Someone could create something that could be insane and that could really break the meta. But with a card like this, which reminds me of just like a crazy, worse RNG type negative, right? I mean, my initial thought was throwing this into a Galactus list with a whole bunch of 1 cost. You throw your Hobgob, your Green Gob, and a Galactus with a whole bunch of 1 cost. Imagine throw down a Green Gob, a Hobgob, and a Galactus all on turn 3. Imagine that. How crazy would that be? I mean, doable, possible? Probably not. But thinking outside the box, I think this is what this card is right here. Thinking outside the box, trying something new. I don't think it's going to change anything too much. It's going to be a strictly fun card, good at proving grounds, and just test it out. What are you thinking?
I think, honestly, backing off of your Galactus idea, if you make it into a junk package and you can also put in a hood, put in a Celine, and kind of get all those cards kind of to be one cost, that could be cool. But I think this is such a heavily, like you said, RNG dependent card. It's going to be interesting to see what people are going to be able to make with this. But of course, it's going to be very just interesting because every single game it's going to be different. You don't know if you're actually going to be able to swap your 0 cost with a 6 cost, or if your 6 cost is going to swap with a 3 cost. Like, I think the RNG aspect is crazy. Originally, when she was first data mined, and it was for any cards in your deck, and it would have worked really well with like the stones with Thanos.
Oh yeah.
So they knew that was going to be OP, so they changed that out. But I think she's going to be very fun. I feel like she's not going to hit every single time, opposed to like some of these other like RNG dependent cards, like an Iron Lad or like a Jubilee or like a Lockjaw. I think Pixie's going to be a little more interesting in that aspect.
Yeah, I would, but I'd much rather play that Lockjaw, right? Because I know what is going to come out. I know what's going to happen, right? And I mean, I know the exact card, but I know what selection of cards it has. And any of those Iron Lad, I know the selection of what it could hit. This is completely random, right? Completely random. So you don't know. Imagine you play it with the Beta Ray Bill, right? You throw down your Beta Ray Bill, you throw down your Pixie, you get out of nowhere you have a 6 cost, Stormbreaker. Nobody wants that, right? So again, this is going to be an RNG card, super fun. I don't think it's going to have a place in the meta, but then again, could be proven wrong. Could be found in some type of staple, a crazy brand new list. But I'm going to have to give this one 5 out of 5 for fun. Okay, we can go 5 out of 5 for fun, but for actual playability, meta-wise, I'm going to have to give it like a 2.5. Tuccrr, what are we thinking?
I think 2.5 is good, kind of like right in the middle. I think if we were to go like 1.5, 2-ish, I think we totally could be proven wrong. But I think this card has potential to be great depending on the list. It just is going to be really interesting to see how you get it to work. I thought maybe even a Shuri Kitty list could be potentially good with Pixie off the top of my head just now. But I think you're going to have to do a lot more testing with this card than any other card this season. So I think it's going to be a fun card, 5 out of 5, but difficulty might be like a 4 out of 5 as well.
Oh yeah, 10,000%. It might take even like weeks of testing to trying to find a good list. But we're gonna find out soon enough. Again, this is March 5th. This comes along out with the season pass on the first day of the season, and there's no Series 4 cards being released this season either. So this is back-to-back Series 5 cards every single week. So make sure you save your tokens, you save those keys for the cards that you really want. So this is Pixie. Let's get right on to the next one. Now we're on to another Series 5 in Mockingbird. This one comes out March 12th, 2024, so a week after the brand new season comes out, and this is going to be a good one. The premium stat line in a 5/9 is great, but just wait till you hear this ability. It costs 1 less for each card in play, right? So on the board that didn't start in your deck. So my brain, Loki, right? I mean, automatically. She's an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., as I was just informed, right? And so it makes sense how she works with the Nick Fury, your Agent Coulson, your Maria Hill. You throw your Quinjet down there, you can play a lot of cards for cheap to get her, even if you make her a 2/9. I mean, that's still, with this premium style line, no Shang-Chi. This is going to be a good one. It's going to be difficult, though, I feel like, with the Loki sometimes. Obviously, if you're playing Loki, you have to know when to use Loki, when to use the other cards in the list, like your Miss Marvel, your Dino, and all that, right? So I feel like unless you draw Mockingbird after the Loki, you might not play her too often because obviously you want a Loki, right? And so you might not play her too often, but if the Loki goes out the window, the premium stat line with the Dino on 6, or vice versa, excellent. This is going to be a fantastic card again. Another Series 5. What are you thinking about this one?
So I think the Loki synergy, I think, definitely makes sense. I think Thanos synergy is going to be pretty crazy too because the stones don't start in your deck. So having the stones on the board is going to decrease your Mockingbird. And then I thought of something really spicy too. In like collector discard, when you get the swarms back into your hand.
Yeah.
Those don't start in your hand, so I don't think those necessarily count as cards that started in your deck. So I think if you can play the swarms on the board, I wonder if that might also decrease the cost of Mockingbird as well.
Oh, and with that whole Wong and MODOK thing, you can get a full hand of swarms and play her for free. You're the Bruin genius, dude. You're insane. I mean, think about that. You know what I did think about though? Some C9 action. I'm still on that. That's all I'm saying. Mockingbird is going to be absolutely fantastic. like I said, I'm really strong on the Loki. Playing all those stones out there is going to be really, it's pretty easy. I mean, you get so many draws with the Thanos. Getting all those stones out there is going to be easy. That will make her free because there's 5 stones if you can play them all on the board. This is going to be good. May I say the best card coming out, but we have one more that I'm really excited for that's coming soon. I'm going to say 4.5 stars.
I think 4.5 stars is solid. I think she's gonna be really solid. I think she might be a little bit more niche than what I think is the best card coming out this season. But I think she's gonna be very, very fun. And also, this variant, by the way, is at least a top 10 variant.
How can we not talk about this? Oh my god, I can't even imagine what's gonna look inked or gold with the crack. Oh my god, get me out of here. It's gonna be great. This is Mockingbird. I'm excited. We have another spicy one coming up right now. Boom, onto the big boy, Cannonball himself. 5'8" stat line, already looking pretty good. This is gonna come out March 19th, the week after Mockingbird, another Series 5. So again, make sure you save your tokens, your keys, all that jazz. Description, this is a long one, bear with me. On reveal, move an enemy card away from here and add a rock where it was. If it can't move, destroy it to add the rock. My brain automatically goes to blob counter, right? Ongoing ability for blob, it can't move, right? So therefore, if blob's in that lane alone, right? You throw blob's in the left lane alone. You have the cannonball, you throw the cannonball down the left lane. It can't move the blob. So it destroys it and adds a rock. So this is going to fit well into some junk action again, as we talked about, adding that rock, clogging up the opponent's side of the board. And also, I was thinking about some kingpin action, right? Because you can play down that cannonball. It will move a random card to another side. If you have a kingpin somewhere else, you can Magneto into that kingpin on 6. I think I got something there. I think we're working with something. What are you thinking about cannonball here, Tuccrr?
I haven't cooked up anything with Cannonball at all. I think the move synergy you're talking about with Kingpin is very interesting and very fun. The blob interaction, if it works that exact way, is crazy. Like a 5/8 kind of like, it doesn't have to be over 10 power. Like even Cannonball can destroy cards that are smaller that are like enabling some other things too. Like that is really, really crazy. I think the stat line's really good too. It's a premium kind of stat line at a 5/8. 5/8 cards are normally very solid. And I think the ability is really cool. Like being able to kind of like clog your opponent in such a way, or literally move their card out of a winning position is going to be really spicy. I don't necessarily know if he's a turn 5 play or a turn 6 play, but you may be able to like alternate it. Like maybe you do a Nihilus on 5 and the Void, you can move the Void over with Cannonball. Like, I don't know, something crazy in that way too, to kind of make your opponent think they're going to win other locations anyways, but the Void moves over into that lane kind of thing. But it's going to be interesting.
I didn't even think about another excellent idea. That was my only big concern, right? Because the junk list is already so packed. You know, you have your curve, right? You have your Sentry on 4, your Nihilus on 5, and then 6 you close out with like a Goliath or, you know, whatever on 6. So maybe this could be like a turn 6 even if you're not running the junk version with Galactus, right? What even other cards are this in the 6th slot? Yeah, Goliath and Galactus really are that 6th slot in junk. I think it's going to find a good place there. Is that going to be his best list? I mean, probably, again, the whole Kingpin, that was just shot in the dark, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I think he's going to be super, super fun. Again, we talked about all these cards are going to be super fun. This one is a more niche than, say, your Hope Summer, of course, a little bit more niche, but fun nonetheless. Again, Series 5, what are you going to give it rating-wise?
I think with a 5/8 premium stat line, like, I still think since he is a little bit more niche, I think like a 3.5 still. I mean, I haven't brewed anything for him, so like I can't, of course, attest for some other people who maybe like give him a 4. But I think 3.5, 5/8 is good, but I don't know. It's gonna be interesting because I feel like a lot of these cards this month you're gonna have to test. Like you're really gonna have to like test how they're used and everything too. So yeah, 3.5 for me.
That's what we talked about. Again, with all these cards, you're just gonna have to sit there and test. You know, like last season with the whole core, or this season right now, currently we have the Corvus, we have Proxima. Very simple, right? You know what I mean? They are very clean cut. You know exactly what's going on. Cold Obsidian, you couldn't get more drier than that, right? Throw them down where there's a 1 cost, right? And so with all these cards this season, every single one of them, you're going to have to test and figure out and try, which is going to be absolutely amazing. Reason why I love brand new seasons of Marvel Snap. I'm going to go with, I'm going to go like a 3.5, right? Yeah, I think I'm going to go like a 3.5, just about, maybe even 3, maybe lower down to 3. I don't know. I just don't know. And it's super, super exciting. I think the junk is going to do well. Not Shang-Chiable, 5/8 premium stat line. And you can destroy any card at random, a big card, if it can't be moved. So I'm excited. I'm hot in this one. Now, we got a special card coming up. Dare I say, the most exciting, the best card coming to Marvel Snap with the month of March. Stay tuned for this card. Okay, the moment you've all been waiting for. War Machine, the Silver Iron Man, chromed out, looks great with this amazing variant. I love it. I'm getting this 100% of the time. I will use 2 times many tokens or 6 keys to get this. I want War Machine so bad. Why, Zao? On reveal until the end of next turn, nothing can stop you from playing cards anywhere. Right? So let's break it down. A whole bunch of Jeffs. Every single one of your cards are Jeffs. And if I'm correct, of course, we have to wait and see, but you can play into a Pro X lane. You can play into a Sanctum Sanctorium, a Storm lane, wherever you want. You can use it in your own lockdown list in case, someone throws on a big coal in your Storm lane. You can't keep up with it. You didn't get the Nebula down in there. You can play the War Machine and then throw whatever you want. Literally whatever you want. You can throw a Doom to that lane or anything. It doesn't matter. Or you can think about the opposite side of it. You can use it if you somehow get matched up with a lockdown list. This will help you so much to play into lanes that you couldn't play into before, adding a whole new element to this whole entire game. War Machine, again, Series 5, 4-6, going to be absolutely mental. Tuccrr, what are you thinking about this one?
I think he's very flexible. I think the lockdown list is probably where you're going to see his home. But I think something I just thought about too is let's say you are losing a game and you're not going to have prio going into turn 6. You play War Machine so you don't automatically get hit by Eliath. So you're in that Professor X lane or you're in that Storm lane. Eliath's going to be coming down whichever lane is available because that's just what lockdown plays. But War Machine enables you to be able to play cards elsewhere. So you may not be getting hit with that Eliath. It's going to be interesting to see how people tech with him. You can play into an Ebony Maul lane as well, which is really cool. And I don't know entirely because the ability doesn't really say it doesn't disregard abilities as well. We don't know for sure if it affects, Infinite or playing an Ebony Maul later on in the game. Probably doesn't. It probably is more like a Jeff interaction. But I think it's so flexible because you flex Jeff. It is so many different decks and everything too. War Machine is a 4-6, great stats. And it's an on reveal ability. I think it has a home with Zabu because Zabu lost a friend earlier today. But I think it's gonna be fun. I think it's very flexible. I think it's gonna open up all sorts of different outlets. You're gonna see more Storm and Professor X in different types of lists that you may not have seen prior. It's gonna be really fun.
I want to make sure we highlight this too. It is you, right? You can play cards anywhere, not your opponent. So I liked your Eliath idea a lot. I mean, think about that because if your opponent does Pro X you or something like that and storm you like the lockdown list normally does, then that Eliath, you can kind of predict where it's going to come, right? I mean, where that Eliath's going to come. You can put that War Machine down on 4 or even 5, right? Ideally, maybe you want to throw it down on 5 to try and avoid the Eliath. And you can just play into those lanes. They probably are going to have to retreat because they can't get any more power there, but you can get as much power as you possibly can with that 6 energy playing that War Machine down on 5. Dude, this is going to be great, man. This card's going to be so great. And the variant, as we just talked about, is going to be even better. I'm excited to see and again, the flexibility aspect as well that you talked about. Super, super flexible. Instead of having 1 Jeff, why not throw the War Machine in there? Again, can be hit by Zabu. Do you ever really want to throw this down on 3? Probably not, I would say, right? Probably not. And so you have that whole interaction right there. Whole bunch of Jeffs. I think this is going to be great. I'm giving it a 5 out of 5 stars.
A 5 out of
100%. 100%.
I think I'm still gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5. I think what would make it a 5 out of 5 for me is if it does disregard some abilities as well.
Like Sauron.
Like it's literally like an on reveal, Sauron for any type of card. That would make it literally busted. But I think 4.5 is still an incredible card and a meta shaping card. So this is gonna be really interesting. And I think being able to, like you said, be able to get into a Sanctum Sanctorum and also be able to kind of lock down maybe other lanes your opponent maybe had lockdown before, being able to play a Storm on a certain lane that you couldn't be able to reach before. I think it's gonna be cool. I think being able to play it with Zabu helps it out so much as well.
Yeah, the interactions we're gonna get with this card are gonna be absolutely mental. I am pumped about this one, man. You can see, especially since this upcoming or the season that we just had with the Black Order, I didn't get a single card, right? And so now I've been saving up all my keys. This is my card this season. I can't even. I gotta stop talking about it. Here we go. Ready? Tuccrr, thank you so much for coming on here again. It absolutely means the world. Where can people find you?
You can find me on all my socials: Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitter with Tuccrr, Tuccrr.
It's 2 C's and 2 R's. Make sure you guys go follow him. Seriously, an excellent content creator and a really good friend. So make sure you guys go subscribe. Go check out the TikTok, the Twitter, the Twitch. Do it all. It means the absolute world to me. I really appreciate you guys watching this video. And don't forget to check out Zal's Snap, Twitter, Twitch, and all that fine jazz. We are doing a Twitter giveaway. If you are interested in getting that Hope Summers for free, check out the Twitter. It will be down in the description down below, as well as always Tucker's links. Again, thank you guys so much. I appreciate every single one of you. Tuck, you know what we got to do, right?
We got to snap out.
3, 2, 1. Snap out.